سلام، من مهدی نوری هستم و تو این ویدیو با هم میخوایم بریم سراغ کتاب کار درس 8 کتاب American Headway سطح دوم. Girls and Boys. Have to. Complete the interview with professional soccer player Tony Mancini using the lines in the box. Tony, what do you need to do to be a successful soccer player?
Well, professional soccer players have to be very fit. Sometimes we have to play 2 games a week.
What do you have to do to stay in shape? Stay in shape یعنی روی فرم موندن. میگه باید چیکارا کنی که بدنت روی فرم بمونه.
I go to the training field most days.
What kind of training do you do?
Well, at 10 o'clock on Monday mornings, we start with a run.
How far do you have to run?
About 5 miles. That wakes you up on a Monday, I can tell you.
Does everybody do that?
Oh, yes. Well, actually, the captain has to run farther than anyone else.
Why?
It's a bit of a joke. Because he's the leader. He has to be the best. On other days, we do circuit training or game practice.
Do you train every day?
No, just 4 days a week. Wednesday is usually a free day. So I don't have to go to the field that day.
What do you do on your day off?
My wife and I usually do something together, shopping, lunch, or just a walk. Then in the afternoon, I often play golf.
Do you have a special diet?
I have to watch what I eat very carefully. Lots of carbohydrates, such as pasta and rice, and low-fat meat. I have to watch what I eat. باید مراقب چیزایی که میخورم باشم.
Your games are usually on the weekends. Does your wife watch?
Yes, she does. She doesn't have to watch, but she says she enjoys it.
Now complete the questions using have to. Look at the example. What time does Tony have to start training on Monday morning?
10 o'clock.
Two. How many miles do the players have to run?
5.
3. How many days a week does Tony have to train?
4.
4. What sort of food do soccer players have to eat?
Lots of carbohydrates and low-fat meat.
5. Does Tony's wife have to watch him play?
No, she doesn't, but she likes to.
Possession and obligation. Does have to mean possession or obligation? Possession is something that you have. Obligation is something that you must do. میگه توی این جمله ها have یه دارایی رو اشاره میکنه possession یا یه obligation یعنی اجبار رو. If it's possession write P. If it's an obligation write O. For example, he has a really good job. Possession. 2. She has to work really hard. This one is an obligation.
3. How many hours a day does she have to work? Obligation. 4. Does she have a lot of meetings? Possession. 5. I have a lot of homework tonight. Possession. 6. I have to do it before tomorrow. Obligation. 7. How many exercises do we have to do? Obligation. 8. When do you have time? Possession. دقت کنید تو جملاتی که possessionن. He has a really good job. اون یه شغل خوب داره. Does he have a lot of meetings? آیا اون جلسات زیادی داره؟ اینا همشون به معنی داشتنه. ولی تو جمله هایی که obligation یا اجباره How many hours a day does she have to work? در روز چند ساعت باید کار کنه؟ به معنی باید هستن اینا.
Now let's talk about the past form. We said that for have to or must, the past form is had to, and don't have to is didn't have to. Now complete the lines in the conversation between Beth and her grandmother with a form of have to.
Grandma, when you were a child, did you have to do any housework?
Of course, I had to help my mother in the kitchen.
And did your brother have to help too?
Yes, he had to work on the farm with my father.
What about school? Did children have to do homework back then?
Yes, we did. Lots.
And did you have to take lots of horrible exams like me?
No, we didn't have to take as many exams in those days. Maybe life was better then, after all. Me and my family. Write 10 true sentences about you and your family using the chart. For example, my grandfather doesn't have to go to work. These sentences must be about you and your family.
My mother has to do the ironing. مامانم باید اتو بکنه. My brother doesn't have to do the dishes. اجباری نیست که برادرم ظرفا رو بشوره. این از 2 مثال در مورد خانواده من، ولی شما میتونید چند تا مثال دیگه برای خانواده خودتونم درست کنین.
Correcting mistakes. Correct the mistakes in each sentence. بیاین تو هر جمله اشتباهش رو درست کنید. For example, he hasn't to. No, we say he has to. Negative, he doesn't have to work. He's a millionaire. 2. Do you have to wear a uniform for work? گفتیم که این have to و has to رو با do و does سوالی با don't و doesn't منفی میکنیم. از خودشون استفاده نکنید. 3. I have studied. No, I have to study very hard because I want to get a good job. 4. We not have to. No, we don't have to get up early tomorrow. It's Saturday. 5. When I was a child, I had to help my mother with the housework. 6. Do you have an English lesson today? This have is a possession. اینجا have به معنی داشتنه. And now should. We said we use should to give advice. Give advice to these people. Use I think should or I don't think should. And the phrase from the box. For example, Mary's got a bad cold.
I don't think she should go to work.
Now you do the rest. 2. Tony wants to drive to work, but he doesn't have his glasses.
I think you should go by bus instead. Instead به جاش. به جاش باید با اتوبوس بره.
3. My tooth hurts.
I think you should go to the dentist. باید بری دندون پزشک.
4. James and Amy are only 16, but they want to get married.
I don't think they should get married.
5. The baby's crying. I think she's hungry.
I think you should feed her. Feed غذا دادن.
6. I'm so fat. My pants don't fit me anymore.
I don't think you should drink so much soda.
7. There's a hole in my shoe. I only bought them last weekend. hole یعنی سوراخ. کفشم سوراخ شده. منم فقط اینا رو هفته پیش خریدم.
I think you should take them back to the store.
Ask for advice in these situations. Use do you think should. For example, Tom has asked me to marry him. Do you think I should say yes? یعنی فکر میکنی من باید جواب مثبت بدم؟ 2. We want to go somewhere hot for our vacation. Where do you think we should go? 3. I can't decide whether to get a job or go to college. What do you think I should do? فکر میکنی من باید چیکار کنم؟ من بهتره که چیکار کنم؟ 4. We're going to have a party at our place but it's so small. How many people do you think I should invite? فکر میکنی چند نفر رو بهتره دعوت کنم؟ 5. Dave's parents are coming for dinner. What do you think I should cook? Have to or should. حالا تو این تمرین باید تصمیم بگیریم که کدوم جواب have to لازمه کدوم should. For example, number 1, Jeff works too hard. Jeff خیلی سخت کار میکنه.
I agree. I really think he should slow down. When you are in the army, you have to do what you are told. وقتی تو ارتش هستین باید هر کاری که بهتون گفته میشه انجام بدین. 3. I'm going to bed now. I have to get up very early. میرم بخوابم. فردا باید خیلی زود بلند شم. 4. You've got a terrible cough. You really should stop smoking. خیلی بد سرفه میکنی. باید سیگار رو ترک کنی. 5. You haven't met my fiancé, have you?
No, you should invite him over for dinner. I'd love to meet him.
6. Tim doesn't want to go to school tomorrow.
He has to go. He has no choice.
7. I think you should get your hair cut. It's getting very long. Get your hair cut یعنی باید موهاتو کوتاه کنی. 8. Do we have to go to Jenny's party?
Yes, we do. She's expecting us. She's expecting us means she's waiting for us.
9. My fiancé expects me to do his laundry for him.
I don't think you should. Tell him to do it himself.
10. I'm going on a road trip in England.
Remember, you have to drive on the left. And now, must. Obligation. Complete the sentences with must and a verb in the box. For example, it's my mother's birthday next week. I must buy her a present. 2. My bedroom's such a mess. یعنی اتاق خوابم خیلی به هم ریخته است. I must clean it up before anyone sees it. قبل از اینکه کسی ببینه باید تمیزش کنم. 3. Mary's a lovely girl. You must meet her. You love her. 4. I haven't spoken to Sally for ages. I must call her soon. 5. You can borrow my suit, but you must be careful. It was very expensive. 6. There's a great movie playing at the theater. You must go and see it. 7. There are so many things I need from the store. I must write a list or I'll forget them. Must not or don't have to. گفتیم این دوتا خیلی با هم دیگه فرق میکنن. چون must not is an obligation again یعنی شما نباید کاری رو انجام بدید. Negative obligation but don't have to means it's not necessary. لازم نیست کاری رو انجام بدی. خیلی تمرین خوب و مهمیه با دقت انجامش بدید.
1. You mustn't tell lies. That's bad behavior. نباید دروغ بگی. این رفتار بدیه. 2. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to. لازم نیست با من بیای اگه نمیخوای. 3. The Getty Museum is free. You don't have to pay. موزه گتی رایگانه. لازم نیست چیزی پرداخت کنی. 4. Jimmy is very sick. He mustn't get out of bed. جیمی خیلی مریضه. نباید از تخت بیاد بیرون. 5. Because she has food allergies, there are a lot of foods she mustn't eat. چون آلرژی داره کلی غذا هست که نباید بخوره. 6. I have the day off tomorrow, so I don't have to get up early. فردا تعطیلم. لازم نیست زود بلند شم. 7. Vanessa is very rich. She doesn't have to go to work. ونسا خیلی ثروتمنده. لازم نیست بره سر کار. 8. Shh, the baby is asleep. You mustn't wake her. بچه خوابه. نباید بیدارش کنی.
Reading. The helicopter pilot. Read and listen to Linda Lewis. Complete the sentences with a word and a number.
Unit 8, Exercise 10. The Helicopter Pilot.
Linda Lewis is from North Carolina. She has been a helicopter pilot for over 10 years. Linda has always been interested in jobs usually done by men. At first, she wanted to be a firefighter, but after her first flying lesson, that was it. She decided to become a pilot. It wasn't easy. Linda had to pay for all her flying lessons. She says most pilots get their training in the military, so they don't have to pay for their lessons. Each lesson cost $150 an hour. It took Linda 2 years to get her license. You have to have at least 150 hours of flying to be a commercial pilot. So Linda spent more than $30,000 learning to fly. To help pay for her lessons, she sold her car, her skis, and her camera. She also borrowed money from a friend. When she got her license, Linda spent 6 years working in logging camps in Wisconsin. She had to carry huge logs from the forest to trucks. Today, she works as a rescue pilot. She carries patients to care centers and hospitals. The challenge comes when you have to pick somebody up from a difficult accident spot. Linda has to work 12 hours a day for 3 days. She waits in a bunkhouse with other pilots for a call. If the weather's bad, I have to decide if the flight is possible or not. After 3 days of work, she has 6 days off. Linda has also opened a helicopter school for students from all over the world. Training students is fun. They are so excited about flying. She's made friends with a lot of the students. Last summer, she spent a week in the villa of a friend near Florence, Italy, and went to Rome to a convention for helicopter pilots. She says, "It's still hard for women. They have to compete with all the military pilots who have the advantage of excellent training. There should be more scholarships for women pilots."
1. Linda has worked as a pilot for more than 10 years. 2. She got her license after 2 years. اون مدرکش رو بعد از 2 سال گرفته. 3. You have to fly for at least 150 hours to become a commercial pilot. commercial pilot ها اونایی که هواپیماهای مسافربری رو به پرواز در میارن. 4. She worked in Wisconsin for 6 years. She had to transport huge logs. log تخته های بریده شده بزرگ چوب رو میگن. 5. In her present job, she has to work for 12 hours a day. 6. She works for 3 days and then has 6 days off. Now read the text again. Are the sentences true or false? For example, Linda always wanted to be a pilot. False. At first, she wanted to be a firefighter. یعنی اولش میخواست که آتش نشان بشه. One, military pilots have to pay for lessons. یعنی اونایی که از طرف ارتش دارن خلبانی یاد میگیرن باید برای لسن هاشون پول بدن. False. Most pilots get their training in the military so they don't have to pay for their lessons. مجبور نیستن پولی پرداخت کنن. 3. A friend lent her some money to pay for lessons. That's true. She also borrowed money from a friend. lend قرض دادن، borrow قرض گرفتن. 4. She had to cut down trees in Wisconsin. False. She had to carry huge logs from the forest to trucks. مجبور نبوده که یعنی شغلشی نبوده که درخت قطع کنه. اونا رو حمل میکرده. 5. She now works as a flying doctor. False. She works as a rescue pilot. Rescue به معنی نجاته. 6. She doesn't have to fly when the weather is very bad. True. If the weather is bad, I have to decide if the flight is possible or not. میگه که صورت سوال میگه اون مجبور نیست وقتی هوا بده پرواز کنه. خب درسته، میگه برای اینکه وقتی هوا بده من باید تصمیم بگیرم که آیا این پرواز ممکنه یا نه. 7. The students at her school come from the US. False. Linda has also opened a helicopter school for students from all over the world. 8. Last summer she spent some time in Italy. True. Last summer she spent a week in the villa of a friend near Florence, Italy. 9. She thinks that there should be more scholarships for military pilots. Scholarship به معنی بورسیه است. میگه که لیندا فکر میکنه که باید برای خلبانای ارتش بورسیه های بیشتری در نظر گرفته بشه. False. There should be more scholarships for women pilots. Now listen, the train driver. Listen to the interview with locomotive engineer Sue Hipperson. Look at the questions she is asked and take notes as you listen.
Unit 8, Exercise 11, The Train Driver.
Sue, how long have you been a locomotive engineer?
I've been an engineer now for over 4 years.
Do you earn a good salary?
I earn about $53,000 a year. That's without overtime. If I work overtime, I get paid more.
What's the best thing about the job?
It's obvious. I love trains, and it's amazing earning money for driving them. But maybe the best part is the kids who wave from bridges or fields as we go past. They are so excited when they see the trains, especially if you sound your horn. I remember doing the same when I was small.
Are there any disadvantages?
The hours. I sometimes have to work more than 40 hours per week, and this is at different times. Sometimes I have to start work at 2 in the morning, but then I finish before lunch. Other days I have to start at 11 at night when the rest of the world is going to bed.
How did you become a locomotive engineer?
By accident. I was a store manager at a clothing store. I hated it. A friend's wife who worked for the railway said I should try that. So I did. I took a job as a train conductor. I loved it, and after 6 months, a colleague told me that I should take the exam to be an engineer. I passed, and I never looked back.
Do you meet any interesting people?
Sometimes you meet famous people. I've met TV stars, and lots of politicians use the railway.
Do you have to wear a uniform?
Yes, I do. And it's awful. Really awful. But it has to be, really. You can't look like a flight attendant if you have to climb in and out of trains.
Is it difficult for a woman in what is usually a man's job?
It's okay. Of course, most of the engineers are men, but we're all good friends. Sometimes they make fun of me, but I give as good as I get.
What's your advice to young women who are interested in the job?
There are now quite a few female engineers, but we need more. So I'd say go for it if you are interested. But don't think that it's going to be a glamorous job. It's exciting, but not glamorous. You'll probably hate the uniform. But it's a great job, and the money isn't bad either.
1. How long have you been a locomotive engineer?
I've been a locomotive engineer for over 4 years.
2. Do you earn a good salary?
Yes, I earn $53,000 a year without working overtime. Overtime یعنی اضافه کاری. بدون اضافه کاری سالی 53,000 تا در میارم.
3. What's the best thing about the job?
I love trains and I love the fact when kids wave from bridges. اینجا شنیدین که گفت sound your horn. When you sound your horn. Sound the horn یعنی بوق زدن. حالا بوق ماشین باشه، سوت قطار باشه. Sound your horn.
4. Are there any disadvantages?
Disadvantages means negative points. Yes, there are. The hours. She sometimes has to work more than 40 hours per week.
5. How did you become a locomotive engineer?
By accident. I was a store manager and a friend's wife suggested this job. شنیدین که گفت من اولش ترین کانداکتور بودم. کانداکتورها اونایی هستن که توی قطار میان و بلیت شما رو چک میکنن. بعد از اون شده یه لوکوموتیو انجینیر.
6. Do you meet any interesting people?
Yes, sometimes I meet famous people, TV stars and politicians.
7. Do you have to wear a uniform?
Yes. She has to wear a uniform and she thinks that it's awful.
8. Is it difficult for a woman in what is usually a man's job? میگه که برای یک خانوم کار کردن توی شغلی که معمولا برای مردهاست سخته؟
She thinks it's okay and sometimes the men make fun of her. Make fun of her یعنی یه وقتای مردا مسخرش میکنن، بهش میخندن.
9. What's your advice to young women who are interested in the job?
She says, go for it if you're interested. یعنی اگه به این شغل علاقه دارین، برین و انجامش بدین. It's exciting but not glamorous. میگه جالبه اما اونقدر یه شغل درخشان عالی نیست. Now vocabulary. Verb plus nouns. Write the words in the box in the correct column. Some of them are collocated with make, some with do. For example, we say make friends, not do friends.
Make a cake. Make a phone call. Make up your mind. Make noise. خب make a cake که همون کیک پختنه. Make a phone call زنگ زدن میشه. Make up your mind تصمیم گرفتن. 2 تا گزینه دارین. میگه که دوستتون میگه که make up your mind. Where do you want to go? Cafe or restaurant? Make noise سر و صدا کردن. Do the housework. Do my homework. Do the shopping. Do an experiment. Do your best. Do the dishes. Do me a favor. Housework و homework. Housework کارهای خونه است مثل ironing, cleaning, doing the dishes. Homework تکلیف. Do the shopping با go shopping فرق داره. Go shopping یه free time activityه. آخر هفته ها میرین یه مرکز خرید، یه چیز میخورین، شاید یه چیز خریدین نخریدین، ولی do the shopping به معنی رفتن به سوپرمارکت و خرید خونه است. Do an experiment به معنی آزمایش انجام دادنه. آزمایش خون نه. منظور یه آزمایشی که در محیط آزمایشگاه انجام میشه. مثلا they did an experiment on mice. روی موشای آزمایشی انجام دادن. Do your best یعنی try very hard. Do the dishes, wash the dishes. Do me a favor یعنی یه لطفی در حق من بکنی.
Now complete the sentences with the correct form of a make or do phrase in exercise 1. For example, Saturday morning is when we do the housework. I do the ironing and my husband cleans. یعنی میگه که شنبه صبح اون وقتی که ما کار خونه انجام میدیم. من اتو میکنم و همسرم هم تمیز میکنه. 2. It's Oliver's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to make a cake. I need 15 candles. Candle یعنی شمع. 3. I don't know if I want steak or fish. I can't make up my mind. نمیدونم استیک میخوام یا ماهی. نمیتونم تصمیم بگیرم. 4. Good luck in your exam. موفق باشی. Just do your best. یعنی بهترینه که میتونی رو ارائه بده. I'm sure you'll pass. 5. Could you do me a favor? Can you get me some stamps when you're at the store? Could you do me a favor? میشه یه لطفی در حقم بکنی؟ میشه میری مغازه کم تمبر برای من بخری؟ 6. It can be difficult to make friends when you move to a new area, but you soon get to know people. Get to know people یعنی با افراد آشنا شدن. 7. I'm going to the supermarket to do the shopping. Do you need anything? من دارم میرم سوپر خریدار رو انجام بدم. چیزی لازم داری؟ 8. Do you mind if I make a phone call? I need to call my boss. مسئله داری اگه من یه زنگی بزنم، یه تماسی بگیرم، باید به رئیسم زنگ بزنم. Now, do this part again, this time with take and put.
Take a picture. عکس گرفتن. Take my advice. نصیحت منو قبول کن و انجام بده. Take a long time. زمان زیادی طول کشیدن. Take the children to the zoo. بچه ها رو به باغ وحش بردن. Take your coat off. کتتو در بیار. Put some music on. یعنی آهنگ بذار. Put your glasses on. عینکتو بزن. Put the date in my calendar. یه چیزی رو تو تقویمتون یادداشت کردن. Put sunscreen on. ضد آفتاب زدن.
Now, this time complete the sentences with the correct form of a take or put phrase in exercise 3. 1. What are you doing this weekend? I'm taking the children to the zoo. They love animals. 2. Everyone get together. I want to take a picture. همه جمع شین میخوام یه عکس بگیرم. 3. I can read this menu. Put your glasses on, then you'll be able to read it. میگه من این منو رو نمیتونم بخونم. میگه عینکتو بزن بعدش میتونی بخونی. 4. Can you come to my party on the 18th? Oh yes, I'll put the date in my calendar now. همین الان تو تقویمم تاریخش رو یادداشت میکنم. 5. You must be patient. باید صبور باشی. It takes a long time to get better after a serious illness. بعد از یه بیماری سخت زمان زیادی طول میکشه تا خوب بشی. 6. Do you mind if I put some music on? Jazz, pop. مشکلی داری پشتم یکم آهنگ بذارم؟ 7. I really think you should take my advice and stop smoking. 8. You must put sunscreen on when you lie in the sun. SPF 20 at least. میگه وقتی دراز میکشی جلوی آفتاب حتما باید ضد آفتاب بزنی. حداقل SPF 20. Pronunciation. Listen and choose the correct phonetic symbol for the vowel sounds in the word. For example, first one, friend is B. اینایی که نوشته ABC اینا phonetic symbolن. یعنی وقتی شما دیکشنری رو باز میکنین که تلفظ کلمه رو چک کنید با این phonetic symbol ها این نمادهای تلفظی روبرو میشین که حالا اینجا ما فقط داریم روی vowel sound یعنی حروف مصوت کار میکنیم.
Unit 8, Exercise 13, Part 1. 1,
Friend.
2,
Catch.
3,
Bother.
4,
Good.
5,
Food.
6,
Free.
7,
Kind.
8,
Cake.
9.
Now.
Here are the answers. اینم جوابا. Now match the words that rhyme. کلماتی رو با هم مچ کنید که از نظر آوایی با هم دیگه میخونن. مثلا wait and mate. Here are the answers, but listen and check again. اینا جوابا، اما یه بار دیگه هم گوش بدید، چک کنید، دوباره سعی کنید مثل خودش هم کلمه ها رو تکرار کنید.
Unit 8, Exercise 13, Part 2. 1,
Wait. Mate.
2,
bread, said,
3,
Height. White.
4,
beat, meat,
5,
Ball. Paul.
6,
should, would,
7,
Find. Signed.
8,
soon, June,
9.
Crowd. Loud.
The same vowel sound can have different spellings. یه صدایی که شما میشنوید به اونم vowel sound یعنی یه حرف صدادار میتونه spelling های متفاوتی داشته باشه. اینجا رو ببینید مثلا برای این vowel sound ما داریم caught, fought, law. با اینکه اینجا این صدا با AU نوشته میشه، اینجا با OU و اینجا با LW. یعنی یه جور تلفظه اما spelling های متفاوتی داره. Now you complete the words. Here are the answers, but listen and check.
Unit 8, Exercise 13, Part 3. 1,
Awe, saw, taught.
2,
Ah, father, bother.
3,
Ooh, fruit, through.
4,
I, mine, height.
5,
Oh, slow, joke.
And the last part, just for fun. Crossword, clothes. بریم سراغ جدول لباس ها. Complete the crossword. The answers are all things you can wear. تمام جوابا چیزایی هستند که ما میتونیم بپوشیم.
1. A piece of women's clothing that covers the body and part of the legs. Dress. 3. A piece of women's clothing that hangs from the waist. Skirt.
Hangs from the waist یعنی از کمر آویزون میشه به پایین.
6. You wear this around your waist to keep your clothes in place. Belt.
Around your waist میشه دور کمرتون.
9. You put these on after you put on your socks. Shoes. 11. The top half of a suit. قسمت بالای یک کت شلوار. Jacket. 12. Something you put on your head with a peak that comes out over your eyes. Cap. یه چیزی که میذارید رو سرتون و یه جایی داره که میاد رو چشماتون. 13. You wear this around your neck when it's cold. دور گردنتون میندازید وقتی که هوا سرده. Scarf. 14. A warm knit shirt-like piece of clothing. Sweater. knit یعنی بافته شده بافتنی. 15. You wear these on your feet in warm weather. Sandals.
Down. عمودی ها. 2. Pants that end at or above the knee. شلواری که بالای زانو تموم بشه. Shorts. 4. A man might wear this with a shirt when he wants to look professional. یه آقا میتونه اینو با یه پیرهن بپوشه وقتی که میخواد خیلی رسمی به نظر بیاد. Tie. کراوات. 5. You wear these on your feet inside your shoes. Socks. جوراب. 6. A type of shoe that covers the foot and part of the leg. Boot. 7. You wear these on your hands when it's cold. Gloves. دستکش. 8. You wear these in bed. Pajamas. Pijame. 10. Shoes that you wear to do sports. Sneakers. رسیدیم به پایان ورکبوک درس 8. بریم سراغ ویدیوی بعدی درس 9.